Hello, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Abigail, and I make videos about special needs and health issues and feeding tubes. So, um, welcome to welcome for all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing, and if you're not subscribed, be sure that you do because I make pretty frequent videos about my life, and I have a story for you all today. So it feels like when you're on a feeding tube, on a constant feed like I am, I have a separate G tube and a separate J tube. The J tube is where I get my feedings. It goes into my intestines, and that's because I have gastroparesis, which means my stomach is partially paralyzed, and I also have a hernia. So I have like a lot of health issues, long story short. And so the J tube I get my feedings from, but the reason why I have a G tube that goes into my stomach is so that I can have like certain kinds of candy and like ice cream and it go out my tube. I hook up a extension to my G tube and it goes out of my tube instead of actually getting sick by mouth. So anyway, the other night, okay, let me go back a little bit. I'm on constant feeds, okay? The other night, I was hooked up to my feeding tube, and at night, it's hooked up to this pole up here. This is the charger, and then I have this thing hooks onto the pole, and this part hooks to the pole, this part hooks to the pump, and then I put it on the charger and all that. And then it hooks onto me at night so that I can sleep and still get my feeds. The other night, I kept on waking up to my pump beeping. It can beep for many different reasons. Some of the reasons it could beep is because it's kinked, meaning that the formula can't go through, which is like, oh, your feed isn't going through. It could let me know that way. It could also beep because the bag is out of formula, letting me know that the bag needs more formula in it, or it could have air in the tube, which if there's air in the tube, it could cause like gas and discomfort. There could be many reasons why it could be beeping, and whenever it does beep, I look at it, I figure out the problem, and I fix it. That's morning or nighttime. Last night, I had a huge backfire. I am trying to find it funny, but it's just one of those things where it's like frustrating in the moment. So the other night, my pump kept beeping, and I'm one of those people that I typically move around a lot in my sleep, and so I just thought that I was probably laying on the cord or making it kink, or my feeding tube has this thing on it that's like, I don't know if you can see it very well, this white clip thing, and if the white clip is flipped shut, formula can't go through, and that could be the reason why it's not going through, because this clip right here could be making it not go through. Anyway, I was thinking, what is going on? Like, why is this beeping? So I am like half asleep, and I push the keep going button because I'm thinking, oh, I probably kinked it or something. A few minutes later, beep beep beep, wakes me up again. After about the third beep, I finally got tired of hearing it beep, So I wake up and I sit up in my bed to look at my pole to look at the bag to see what's going on. And turns out my formula in the middle of the night went bad. And when my formula goes bad, it can go bad from getting hot. And the problem is I do have a window unit in my room, but because it's aimed like directly at me, I get cold very easily. And so basically I had my window unit off in the night because I had gotten cold, and I was like, well, I don't want to get cold in the night, so I'll just turn it off. Well, I guess that was a bad idea, because in the middle of the night, even though I didn't feel too hot, it got too hot in my room for my formula, and my formula went bad. So basically, it was pushing like air through the tube, and the formula going through the tube was bad formula because it had gotten hot. It was a big mess. So basically, I had to get up, completely change the bag, do that whole routine over again of getting a new bag, priming it, and everything. And it was very frustrating. But I'm glad I didn't just keep ignoring it, because if I would have ignored it and it kept feeding me like gross formula, that could have really made me feel bad. So I'm glad that I woke up enough to realize what was going on and was able to fix the problem. And thankfully, now that I've had my feeding tube a few months, I pretty much completely take care of it on my own. Besides, early in the morning before my mom goes to work, she will come in and flush it before she goes to work early in the morning, and then I flush it again when I wake up in the morning. So having a feeding tube is very you really got to be in a routine, because there's so many things off of having a feeding tube as far as taking care of it that some people might not think about. For one, I'm supposed to clean underneath the tube twice a day, so I do it once in the morning, once before I go to bed, and it's just like putting a Q-tip with a little bit of water and cleaning right under my feeding tube, because you can get just like, I don't know, like pus and different things. And sometimes your skin can get irritated from cleaning it so often. So they make also like a special like lotion type thing that you put on it if it gets irritated. So there's cleaning it. And then, which is, I do mine once in the morning and then once before I go to bed. And then there's flushing it, which is putting clean water through the tube so that the tube doesn't clog. And the cleaning or flushing the tube is supposed to be like every 4 hours, which how we do it is during the daytime, it's every 4 hours that we flush it. But if it's at nighttime, I flush it before I go to bed, and then I flush it first thing in the morning. So there's flushing the tube every like 4 hours. And then the other thing is making sure you have enough formula in the bag. So I have a backpack. This is the backpack I use. It's just a regular, normal backpack. It has 2 pockets here. It has like this big pocket and then the smaller one. And basically it goes everywhere with me. At night it is on the pole. But other than that, I get up in the morning. I do my morning routine. I put my... Well, actually, how I do my morning routine is I get up in the morning, I do the things that would be hard to do with being on my feeding tube. And then after I finish those things, I come in here and I put my feeding tube in my bag, take it off the charger and all that, put it in my bag. And then I'm on it all day long, and then at night I'll put it on this pole, and it will stay on the pole until the next morning. So I would say one of the hardest things about being on a feeding tube, at least in my experience, is remembering to keep enough formula in the bag, especially at night or like in the evening times when it's like not quite bedtime, but not like super early either. That can be hard because I think each bottle of my formula lasts like a few hours, and so trying to schedule that in a way of like, we normally switch my bag at night, my nighttime bag at night, so it's a lot of trying to figure out the time. I'm pretty good at remembering every 4 hours to flush it. It doesn't have to be like exactly 4 hours, but that's what I was recommended, was to like flush it every 4 hours. So if it's like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes off, it's fine, but that's what we try to do, is flush it every 4 hours. And then as far as the G-tube goes, because I don't use it for feedings, I hook up my extension and I flush it once a day, and then if I have anything in my stomach, like candy, I will vent that out. And that's really, other than cleaning it once a day, that's really the only thing I really use my G-tube for, is venting. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers. If you are new, be sure that you subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.